Fasting during Ramadan is a time for us to exercise self-control and self-discipline, and perhaps even exercise physically. But did you know that keeping your mouth healthy is just as important? In fact, your mouth includes your teeth, your gums, and everything else in between. And during Ramadan, we try to do that by staying healthy and comfortable as well, right, Doc?
And that is so true. Now, your teeth may not be the top of the list of things that you will actually think about during this holy month of Ramadan, especially when you're actually fasting. But it's a good idea to keep them in mind. So you'll want to keep up your dental routine so that fasting doesn't have a negative impact on your oral health, especially breath.
Exactly. Good thing we're wearing these masks.
I know.
So, what's the best way to maintain our oral health during the holy month of Ramadan? Well, we're now connected with a dentist, Joseph Gunawan, who will share some tips with us on how to maintain our oral health during fasting. Good morning, Doc.
Hi, good morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for joining us here on the program. So let's jump right into it. So having a lack of food and water, what does that do for our oral health in general?
Okay, sure. When you are fasting, so you are lacking of food and also water inside your mouth, and your saliva inside your mouth will be decreasing. When your saliva is decreasing, the plaque and also bacteria will retain more on your teeth and also gums.
Oh, no.
So when more bacteria retain on your gums and also teeth, you will have bad mouth odor.
Okay, there
Right,
you go.
That explains that.
That explains why we need. It's a good thing that you said we're actually using our masks,
That's
right? Okay, so Dr. Joseph, elaborate with us a little bit more. What is the worst thing that can actually happen if our mouth is lacking of water? You did mention about the plaques and also the intervention of the bacteria itself. Like, is there any specific oral trouble that actually can occur to us?
Okay, so the most problems on our mouth when lacking our food and also drink inside our mouth is actually dry mouth,
Yep.
or in our medical terms, we call it as serostomia. So when there is lacking of saliva inside our mouth, so the first thing first will happen is bad mouth odor, like I said before. When it is more and more lacking of water and also food inside our mouth, and our mouth still keep dry, there will be more problems. But actually, in our 1 month of fasting, there will be no serious problems, I think.
Right,
Okay,
so
since
it's still
only a
safe.
month. Right.
Yep.
Because I would have thought the opposite,
Yeah.
because I would have thought that let's say you have an extended amount of hours, you don't put any food in your mouth,
Yeah.
or sweets especially, that it's actually good for your teeth and gums, right? But then again, there's other problems that could arrive. Now, speaking of problems, Doc, let's say I already have oral problems. You know that some people have problems with cavities, or perhaps gums, their gums aren't too healthy. Those people with oral or existing oral problems, should they fast in a different way, or is there some approach that they should, different approach that they should have when it comes to fasting?
Okay, actually, there is no different approach when you're going to fast. I think if you are having tooth decay or bad gums, like you said earlier, but actually you have to maintain your oral health. Like you have to brush your teeth really clean, and then you have to choose your food when you are breakfasting or sahur, so you won't make your tooth cavity become larger. The choice of food, maybe you have to choose less sweet food, so your cavity won't get any larger.
Right.
Tell that to my 7-year-old kid at home.
Ah,
It's been very hard to convince
That's
him.
your homework, Paul. Yes. Now, Dr. Joseph, you did mention about
Yes.
Having a dry mouth or serostomia itself. Now, during this Ramadan, especially Muslims who are actually fasting, when it's time to break their fast or iftar, they tend to eat lots of or drink lots of sweets, right? So just name it, chendol, dawet. There's the dates. Dates are actually very sweet,
Kolak.
right? The kolak, that is so true, Doc. Now, what kind of foods and also drinks that can actually causes our mouth to be dry, and then in terms, it's going to be actually dissolve or to the xerostomia.
Okay, so the most making drinks to make our mouth dry or xerostomia actually alcohol. But you know,
Alcohol.
right? If you're fasting and you're Muslim, alcohol won't do any harm on
Yep,
your mouth.
yep.
So actually, there is no specific food or drink that will make your mouth drier or making your dry mouth become serious problems.
Right,
But
right.
actually, my opinion or my tips for you, you have to drink more waters and eat more fruits and vegetables so your mouth won't that dry.
Okay, I have two follow-up questions then, Doc. I tend to drink coffee for sahur because I need to stay awake in these
Yep.
early hours. And I don't know if it's just my imagination, but does coffee dry out your mouth a little more? Because I try to drink a bottle of water after that, but I still feel this kind of dry mouthedness earlier on than I would if I didn't drink coffee. Is that true?
Actually, there some correlations between coffee and also dry mouth, but actually it is only like perceptions of aftertaste of
Okay.
the coffee and caffeine that you drink. Yeah.
Okay, so one more then I want to ask you. Some of my friends believe, because everyone has slightly different beliefs,
Sorry.
but some of my friends, this is pre-pandemic days when we didn't have masks on.
Yeah.
If you had to go to a meeting, especially in a smaller room, some of my friends would just have a little bit of mouthwash and
Yeah.
then just splash it out again. Now that contains alcohol. Does that actually dry out your mouth more then? Because then it's kind of like, you got to weigh your two options. What's your take, Doc?
Yes, it might be because
Ah.
actually I really don't recommend any mouthwash that having alcohol inside.
Okay.
Because alcohol inside the mouthwash, and if you do the mouthwashing regularly, it will make the xerostomia.
Worse, I guess.
Yeah, to be even more worse, that's true.
Okay.
So obviously here we can see in this on the screen, obviously, this is one of the ways that we can actually clean our specific tooth, right? So sometimes we just tend to actually just brush it.
Yeah.
And the technique of brushing our teeth, sometimes it is wrong, right?
By the way, this is one thing that I learned from my dentist, and I noticed that Dr. Joseph did it too, and I'm sure you do the same because you're a dentist. When he says, like when I refer to my kid, let's say I'm doing a hand signal, I'll
Right.
always say, hey, go upstairs and brush your teeth.
Right.
Or where doctors, they actually say, go upstairs and brush your teeth.
There you go.
Right?
That is so true. Yeah, we're going to ask about that to
We're gonna try to
Dr.
get him back online.
Joseph, but we're trying to reach Dr. Joseph again. But speaking of this, Ramadan, eating sweets and fasting as well, and how to maintain our oral health is actually very, very important, right? Because sometimes that we don't realize that the one thing that actually causes problems, and actually it can differ to many other problems, right? It can connect to other problems, is from our mouth itself, right? From a small decay caused by a bacteria, it can go straightway to the root canal area.
Yes.
And then it can diverse to any parts of our body. So
Right.
it can actually, harm our head area, our
Yes.
neck area, our back, and also, our abdomen.
We don't think about that sometimes. We just
Yeah.
think that the tooth is just on the surface. But my dentist said the same thing to me as we get Dr. Joseph
Yes.
back. Hi, Doc. We've got you back, but don't worry. We had Doc Ramalandi fill in for you while you were gone. So what are your tips here? We are looking for some tips, perhaps, on what's the best way to maintain our oral health during our fast. Is there anything specific we need to add to our routines?
Right. Oh, we're disconnected.
Or, you know
again.
what? We're disconnected again with Dr. Joseph. I'm going to throw that question at you, Doc. Do
Okay.
you do something different, or do you advise your patients to do this, anything different during
Okay, so during Ramadan, I will strictly advise to them if they're, a fan of having or gargling with the mouthwash, I will actually say don't do so.
Okay.
Not too often, right?
Okay.
So it needs to contain no alcohol, so you need to be wise to choose your mouthwash. And then second of all is obviously you have to drink loads of water. So when you drink in a normal daily activity, you drink like 2 liters and a
Yes.
half. You need to upgrade that to be
Really?
like 3 until 3.5. And that means that you will need a bathroom trip
Wow.
more often, right?
A little TMI for our viewers here. I've been going to the toilet back and forth on almost every break.
That's normal and that's good, okay?
That's right.
And then the third of all is how you actually brush your teeth, right?
Okay.
So the position of your, you holding your toothbrush, and then it's not, you don't go sideways, you
Sure.
don't go left and right, you go up and down.
Right.
It's just remember that our gums, they're red, right? Our
Yes.
teeth, they're white.
Right.
So it's just like in the Indonesian flag, right?
Uh-huh.
Merah putih. So you go from the red to the white.
Ah,
Red, white,
okay.
red, white. Goes like that.
Yeah.
So you don't go left
I
and
don't
right.
know why. Growing up, I always felt more instinctive to just go like this.
I know.
And my dentist actually told me, he's like, oh, 2 things. I can tell right now. You're brushing your teeth this way. You're not going up and down. He could already tell by looking
Yeah.
at my teeth. And number 2, you're going too hard. So just go lighter.
Yes.
You don't need to go that hard. But you just feel like, I want to get it very clean. So then you
I
kind of
know.
do everything you can.
It's like when you put pressure more,
Yes.
right, on your
Yes.
toothbrush,
Right.
and then you feel it's cleaner, but it's actually not. It's actually jeopardizing your
Right.
gums. And after that, after you go straight, up and top and bottom,
Right.
and then you go circular movements, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So now my simple solution is I use an electric toothbrush now. It's a lot easier. I don't have to think about it. I just hold it there for 2 minutes.
Okay.